Hi everyone, my name is Genesee and welcome to my channel. So today I am going to be talking about things I wish I knew before going on World Race semesters. So I went to Costa Rica and Guatemala, 1 month in each country, and there's some tips that I want to share with you guys as you're packing and preparing for your trip as well. So I know that there is a packing guide provided whenever you are preparing for your trip, but of course you're going to have more questions than the things that they list on there. So yeah, and first of all, I just want to start off by saying don't stress too much about getting everything you're going to possibly need for the month, 2 months, 3 months, however long you're gone. Because you are going to be able to go to a store and pick up more shampoo, pick up toothpaste, whatever it is that you might have forgotten or ran out of or whatever. So you don't have to stress out too much. Like, it's okay if you forget something. Just wanted to throw that out there. Okay, so the first tip is something that might seem obvious, but research the weather. You might think in your head, like I did, that, Guatemala is close to Costa Rica. I know Costa Rica is super tropical. It's going to be hot in Guatemala, but I did not realize how cold it gets in Guatemala, where we were staying, at night. So look up the weather for that time of year and pack accordingly. Okay, next is thrift. Thrift all you can for the clothes you will need, because your clothes will most likely get super dirty, get paint on them, dirt, stains, honestly just smell bad at the end of the trip, and you're gonna want to toss it. So don't buy it new and spend unnecessary money. Go to Goodwill, wherever, and thrift. And you'll probably be able to find more things that fit the dress code at thrift stores than at your main retail stores. All right. Next, so I packed all my stuff in one suitcase, and you might be wondering if you should invest in a hiking pack, and you totally can, but I packed in a suitcase and it worked perfectly fine for me. So my advice would be, if you don't think you're ever going to use a hiking pack after your trip, I would probably just save that money and just use a suitcase that you might already have, and it will probably just work fine. Okay, next is bring a smaller purse that you can just take throughout the day to your ministry. So I brought, my suitcase, a backpack to wear as well, like through the airport and stuff. And then I also packed a smaller purse just to put like water, a phone, a Bible, a snack in, because I didn't want to have to wear a backpack every time I needed to go somewhere. And it worked really well. So next is pack medicine such as aspirin, Benadryl cream, Band-Aids, any of like that type of over-the-counter stuff, and obviously bring your prescriptions as well. But those are things that whenever, something happens, you get a bug bite, like you want to have that like as soon as it happens. You don't want to have to wait and go to the store later. So I was kind of the first aid person on my squad, and it helps a lot of people. So definitely bring the basics that you're most likely going to need in the course of 2 months or 1 month. Okay, bring a blanket. So even if you decided to bring a sleeping bag, I would still probably just bring one little light blanket just to have for travel days, or if you just need some comfort. Okay, next is bring more than one swimsuit. No one likes to put on a wet swimsuit, so it's nice to have two, so that you have one that is dry while the other one is still wet and drying. Okay, bring snacks on your trip. It doesn't have to be a ton, it can be just a few things, but it's really nice to have some little comforts of home while you're on your trip, because at least for me and most of my squad, our diet like significantly changed while we were out on the field, because we couldn't really choose what we were eating anymore. So it was nice to have a couple of things that you brought from home, just something sweet or some candy or some protein bars or something like that. Okay, let's talk shoes. I remember this was something that I thought a lot about before I left, and I think what I ended up deciding worked pretty well. So I brought one pair of tennis shoes, one pair of hiking sandals, and then one pair of like dressy-ish sandals to wear like to church or with a dress or a skirt. So a lot of people wear Chacos, and those work great, but also bring some closed-toe shoes that you can wear and they're comfy and you can walk a lot in, because if you're doing construction type things, you don't want to have open-toed shoes. Okay, this one, bring extra underwear. Bring more than you think, because just trust me, you're gonna want extra underwear, and because you're not going to want to do the laundry every few days, because you will probably be doing laundry by hand, and it's just not fun. Just bring extra, and make it socks for that matter too. Socks and underwear, bring extra, bring more than you think. Because also, fun story, a pair of my underwear got hacked by a weed eater. It was up on the line drying, it fell off. One of my teammates was out doing the yard and it got shredded. So, there was one pair of underwear by the gun. So it was a good thing I brought more than enough. Okay. Next is, don't go too crazy with the makeup. I didn't bring any makeup at all, and it worked fine for me, but if you would like to bring makeup, I would recommend just bringing like the bare minimum you would need. Some mascara and some foundation or something like that would work great. Most of my squad mates did not bring any makeup, or like I said, just brought the bare minimum, which I think is good because it saves room for things that you might really want to bring. Okay, next is this is kind of random, but bring liquid soap for bring liquid body wash, not like a bar soap, because if you're having to move your stuff in and out of the shower like every time you shower, just transporting like a slippery bar of soap was just not fun, and something I wish I would have thought of. And then also just like storing it whenever you're not showering is kind of like it's all wet, and like put it in a Ziploc bag, and then the Ziploc bag gets all sticky. So just bring like a bottle of body wash. I think that's a lot better. Okay, so feminine hygiene. Okay, so most other countries, I'm not gonna say a blanket statement, you could probably Google it, I don't know. They don't have as many options as we do here in the US, and or they come in like very small like packages. And so I think it's better just to bring a whole supply for the 1 to 3 months that you might be gone, because It's just easier, and especially if you're picky with the brand, just go ahead and bring the brand you like and you don't have to worry about it. Okay, next is bring a dirty clothes hamper. So I bought one from Target for like $5. Just a little like mesh bag with a strap that I hung on the side of my bunk bed. And it was so much easier to transport my dirty clothes from my room to the outside laundry area, or I mean, it was just really a bucket and a hose, but anyway, it was so much easier than like having to carry it on your arms. And so also, that way you're not just throwing it on the floor or having to throw it like back in your suitcase with your clean clothes. Okay, next tip is bring cash. Bring your card and bring cash, because you never know when you might need cash, and it's always good to have some US dollars on hand. Okay, download Venmo and Uber before you leave and arrive in the next country, because I think, this is what I was told, that you have to like verify your location, and so if you're in a different country, it might like be suspicious with like the payment, you know, in the app. So just go ahead and download it while you have Wi-Fi at home before you leave, and it will just be so much easier. I know a lot of us use Venmo and Uber all the time. Uber is, to my knowledge, pretty accessible in most countries and fairly reliable, so it's great for off days. Next is pack a light jacket. Even if the climate is hot or tropical, go ahead and pack a light jacket for travel days. Pack a hat as well. You might be spending a lot of time outside, and a hat is a good thing to have. Okay, bring a book and or playing cards with you. If you don't have an international plan with your phone, you're probably not going to have Wi-Fi that much while you have downtime with your squad. And so it's really nice to be able to go and read a book for fun or for pleasure so that you can relax after a long day of ministry. And playing cards are also a great thing to bring, because it's something fun to do with your squad while you're, while on Sabbath or an off day or after ministry. And I know we played a ton of cards, so go ahead and bring some playing cards. Okay, if you're debating between a raincoat or like a cheap little plastic poncho, just get the raincoat. Trust me, get the raincoat. It will make your life so much better. If you're out and it's pouring down rain, you are going to wish you had a decent raincoat. I got one off of Amazon, and it made my life a lot better, especially if you're going to a tropical climate. Invest in a raincoat, okay? Please. Okay, so the next few tips are just based on my experience and like from things I saw my teammates do. So bring some pictures, and one of my teammates, she brought a couple of Polaroid pictures and some tape, and she taped it up on her bed frame, and it was so cute because, you know, it kind of made it feel a little bit more like home. You know, you're gone for 1 or 2 or 3 months, and it's nice to have those little reminders of the people back home or your pets or friends or family, and I wish that was something I would have thought of. Shout out to Mackenzie. So next is, don't pack to the weight limit all the way. Don't push it, because while you're out in the different countries, you're probably going to want to bring a few souvenirs back, so you want to have that extra space in your suitcase to be able to fit those things and bring them back home. I would highly recommend bringing some coffee beans back home, because that's a really sweet thing to like share with your family and friends, and it's also delicious. Okay, also write down some goals you have for the trip. Write down your expectations, things you want to see God do, things you want to learn. Write them down in a journal, and then whenever you come back, go back and read it, and it will be so sweet to see your answered prayers. And let me just say, God answered every single one of the things I wrote down, and I'm so glad I wrote those things down because it was just so awesome to see God answer those specific things. Okay, well, that is everything, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, and I wish you all the best on your World Race Semesters trips. Bye!